Why the hell is my engagement so low? That's what you're probably asking yourself if you've been actively doing Instagram in the last couple of months, probably. I've taken a look at some of the stats that you sent me, including my own stats that I sent myself, and I came up with some very interesting insights. So keep watching if you want to know how to up your engagement again. Ooh. Welcome back, motherfucker. My name is Dominic. Usually I talk about Instagram advice, personal branding advice. Sometimes I do the occasional vlogging thing, but you guys don't seem to really care about that. I'm still gonna do it, by the way. Anyway, or the algorithm, who knows that. But anyway, today we're talking about a really special topic, a really hot topic lately, which is the engagement drop that has been happening all over the years. But I feel like lately, it's been hitting really hard, to be honest, because lots of more people came to me. That's when I sent out an Instagram story, asking all of you people to send me their stats, just so that I could see maybe a correlation or anything on that matter. So I actually figured out a couple of things. Let me get into that. Right. So the first and the most important thing, and it's not always the algorithm that sucks. And don't get me wrong, my friends. I'm sure your content is top notch all the time. But if you notice some sort of engagement drop, the first thing that you should actually ask yourself is, does my content suck? And you've got to be really honest with yourself in this one here. Because, the way the algorithm actually works is it takes you post your picture, it takes this picture to a certain chunk of people. People that follow you, people that are most likely going to interact with you. So it shows it to them. And, if there's less people, if those first group that are going to like your post, the algorithm's gonna think, oh, probably not a good post. I'm gonna show it to a lot less people and go from there, and they increase the chunks all over the time. And the less people out of these first chunks are going to interact with your profile, with your post, a lot less it's going to perform well. And, resulting in, engagement drop, all these things that you guys all talk about the whole day. Making you actually blame the algorithm, because, the only fault's at the algorithm. Could be, but might not be. It used to be really different back in the days, in the golden days of Instagram, when the algorithm, was not a thing. Or secondly, it was, not as sophisticated as it is right now. Because back in the days, you always had at least 10% reach, of your audience. So if you had 10,000 followers, you at least got 10%, reach. So resulting in more or less 1,000 likes. All the time, because no matter how your post performed in the first couple of minutes, hours, you always got shown to the same amount of people. Right now, it's different. Like I just said, it depends on the way people interact with you at the beginning. I'm sure they have some sort of track points, like YouTube, for example. They have like a track point an hour in, and then 24 hours in. I'm pretty sure 48 hours in. I don't think Instagram's that long term. But I think it's pretty similar to that. And I taking a look at lots of your stats. Okay, thanks by the way for that. By the way, you should follow me on Instagram. Just saying. And got to be completely honest with you, my friends. The majority of those engagement drops came from the content not being as good as in a post that performed well. Of course, the more people are on Instagram, the more the algorithm's going to take over. And of course, a year ago, there were 700 million people on Instagram. Now there's 1 billion people. So there's, just from a year ago to now, there's 300 million people more. And that's actually a lot. So, of course, engagement is probably going to get worse and worse just because the algorithm does not know, or it can't. That's just the way it works. Maybe there's a way to program the algorithm in a better way. I have no idea. I'm not one of those guys. Anyway, what I wanted to say is about 70 to 80% of you guys that sent me your stats, your content was a little bit worse or different than from the content that when your posts performed well. Just gonna say it how it is. For example, here's a recent example of myself. I want to take an example of my posts, not of one of yours, because I don't want you to feel shit after this video. By the way, if you want to feel shit, we're going to do another profile review, super harsh edition in a couple of, next week probably. So if you want to get your profile reviewed the worst and the harshest way ever, drop your Instagram handle below in the comments. I'm gonna pick 2 or 3 of you people out there, and anyway, here's an example of myself recently. Right. So there's these two, my two latest posts, for example. You know, there's quite a difference in engagement of those latest posts. My latest post, me being in front of the Eiffel Tower last week, if you don't know what it's all about, you know, watch the vlog. You know, a lot of people watch that. But anyway, whatever you want to do. Anyway, this one did pretty well. If you look at the insights in there, you can actually see, you know, 78 actions taken from this post, you know, and the reach was 6,747, which is not that bad, which is actually pretty okay. 2 follows even, and about 10,000 impressions. Not a lot of people came from hashtags, which shows me that most, you know, impressions that I got was from my own followers, which, you know, is actually a good way to measure these things. And I got 14 saves, which is also not that bad. And you can pretty much see it's a pretty nice picture. I'll just say that. It's a pretty nice picture. Of course, people are going to like it, and I posted it at a very, very good time. So there's that. The picture that I uploaded a day before, or a couple of days before, hello, autofocus, hello. Well, there you go. Is actually a picture of me being, you know, 10 years ago, me being 17, probably 16, 17, I don't know. You know, at the concert of my band. People are not gonna recognize me. There's some people actually texting me, you know, I wanted to unfollow you because I was like, who's this kid in my story? So, you know. And, you know, if you see, look at this, you know, so it's not a typical Instagram post. It's not what people came for in my Instagram. It's not something that people expected to see when they clicked on my follow button. And you can pretty much see it, you know? There's 433 likes, 1 save, still the same, kind of the same amount of actions, but 4,000 accounts reached, about 4,000 accounts reached. The other one was, I don't remember, about 6,000, right? Yeah, about 7,000. So it was about 50% less, which, you know, just results of the algorithm noticing, okay, there's not a lot of people liking this. First of all, people were confused because they didn't know who it was. Second of all, it has nothing to do with my profile at all. So you understand that? Also, you can see here that while the reach is about 2,000 people less, there's, you know, 60% less comments, which means that even those people that saw it don't like it that much. And this is how you can use the analytics to actually, you know, kind of figure out a way to grow. If you want, I'm going to make a video about this whole analytics thing, which, by the way, I think a good organic way to grow for the long term. So if you want that, you know. But just so you know, totally different kinds of pictures. And sometimes, you know, if you see some sort of engagement drop on your own page, you know, try to figure that out. Is the post different? Is that what people came for? Is that what people signed up for? You don't know. And if you see, like, on the follow button, someone sent me a picture where they were like on the follow button -5. So if you have a picture where there's, you know, minus followers on there, you might have to rethink what you're doing. Right, so what can you do? First of all, take a look at your recent content, try to figure out patterns. Maybe there's, you know, some posts that actually did perform well. Were there specific posting times that you put it up? Is there a specific subject in the picture? Is that yourself? For example, I notice it a lot. We notice it with clients. Most of the times when the, you know, person that has the Instagram account is in the picture, you know, it performs a lot better, depending, you know, of course, if you're a photography account. You know, that's something different again. Might be the other way around. But try to figure out some sort of patterns. I'm sure there's at least some sort of patterns that you could recognize. And after you recognize them, try to test them. You know, throw up only pictures that same time, you know, of the same subject. You know what I'm, not the very same picture, of course, but you know, they're pretty similar to that. And try to see if your engagement is going to up again. Because I'm pretty sure the algorithm works like that. If they see, all right, the last post didn't perform as well, this post probably won't perform as well either. So I'm gonna start off with a very smaller chunk size in the beginning when showing your posts. Who knows? This is kind of speculation, but I'm pretty sure it's like that. You know, I'm sure YouTube is like that as well. Right. You know, in terms of hashtags, you know, don't rely on hashtags at all. I'm still trying to figure out and solve that whole hashtag mystery out there. You know, sometimes I use a tool called Hashatory, which seems to help. If you are interested in that, I have the link down below in my description. Does not always help though. That's just the way it is. It's just the randomness of Instagram. Anyway, this has been it for this week. Don't always blame the algorithm. Take a look at yourself. And I'm still on my way to figure out how to, you know, what to do with this algorithm. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, my name's Dominic. In a couple of days, we're gonna see each other again, probably right in the screen. Bye-bye. Love you, my friends.